There we go. Let's get into it. Finally streaming, ready to go. About 21. Can you do something for me? Got my official pickleball shirt on. Lab McConkey's still there. It'd be nice there. I already went running back. It makes it hard. But I might double tap running back here for this kind of build. I was going to say, I haven't got a lot of Jonathan Taylor, but let's go Josh Jacobs. Press into the running backs a little bit here. I'm going to try to go for a fragile RB where I'll probably only have 5 total running backs, but I'll just load up on wide receivers that I think are high upside later in drafts. Probably try to go 3 quarterbacks, maybe 2 tight ends. So was that 5 plus 5, and then 10 wide receivers. Really press on the wide receiver gas. Let's see who falls to us of these next picks. Hopefully, we're not stuck with Jackson Smith-Njigba as wide receiver 1, but I think he'll be fine though. Keep calm and march on. That's awesome. McBride off the board at 23. Jeez. It's a bit rich for me, honestly. Could triple tap and go Brees Hall. That'd be pretty sick running back build off the gate. I'd like to see if I can get Tyreek Hill though. Seems doubtful. I think 28 is pretty much the last chance for him. Probably go Jackson Smith-Njigba or Garrett Wilson. Probably go Garrett Wilson. Tyreek Hill fell to me. Jeez. Good Tyreek Hill there. At wide receiver 14 seems like a steal for Tyreek Hill, honestly. Baby J without hesitation got Garrett Wilson. Jackson Smith-Njigba. I love that team right there. That's the build I like to do. 3 wide receivers. This one's like a little bit worse than this one for sure. I'd rather have Ladd, JJ, and Jackson Smith-Njigba. It's always good. Ashton Denti, Amon-Ra. I feel like that's a pretty common start now with how things are falling. Hey, CWJK, how's it going? Welcome to the live. We're going live. We'll probably go a couple lives every week up until draft time. I'll be putting out content on the NFL draft as well, guys. So if you like just hanging out, talking player takes, drafting, all that good stuff, you're going to want to join the channel. Hit that subscribe button as well. Go late mode or dark mode. Too late there for me. Let's see. So only stack I got is Tua right now, but I'll be getting lots of wide receivers here. I'll probably just double down on these wide receivers coming up. Hoping I can get a Roma Dunze or Devonta Adams here too, and really solidify that room. I think Devonta Adams is the cheapest wide receiver in Underdog fantasy sports. So let's see two more. Is he gonna go wide receiver? No, he goes Chuba Hubbard. Diversifies a little bit. He's probably gonna take my guy. Nope. I'm fine with a lot of different guys. I'm gonna go Devonta Adams in this build. Tyreek Hill, Devonta Adams. We're going old guy club. We're gonna name this guy old man wide receivers only. We're gonna get Keenan Allen. We're gonna get Adam Thielen. Uh, just guys that are past their prime, but they're gonna get the job done for us this year in 2025. Let's go. I hope Roma Dunze is there, but I think Ted McMillan might be a little bit better in my personal rankings than Roma Dunze, just because I expect him to go to a team that's really looking for that alpha wide receiver and doesn't have all these mouths to feed in the offense. I mean, DJ Moore is there. Keenan Allen, I think, is going to re-sign there. I saw some more stuff come out that he's maybe not going to re-sign there, but still, two mouths to feed there versus I could see Ted McMillan going to the Patriots. And then they have a great, wide receiver for Drake May. They don't really have a lot of competition. He gets peppered with 150 targets. We're talking about how he's a top 20 wide receiver this year. And he's going, 26 off the board. That's good value. Especially I could see him kind of taking a little bit of time early on in the season, then really taking off once the season starts. But I like Rome and Tet. Kind of like Rome's profile better, but just the mouths to feed. Might lean Tet. But DK Metcalf's also another good option, or Jalen Waddle. Go that Tua stack, Dolphins. Let's see what we're cooking here. Goes Metcalf. So Tet McMillan's there. Roma Dunze's off. I'm going to go Tet McMillan. Tet McMillan's off the board. So now we got three wide receivers. I think we're pretty well built for Underdog here. We drop in a wide receiver, get that fourth wide receiver in there, get a tight end, call it a day. And then to start getting just good value. I haven't really done a lot of elite quarterback builds. Probably more Jane Daniels, Burrow. Josh Allen, a little bit too rich for me. Obviously, he's going to get 400 points, so maybe it's not too rich. But I just feel like I can navigate the wide receiver, the quarterbacks later in the drafts. Like I feel like there's huge value in Bryce Young. You got Penix. You got J.J. McCarthy going like 160. I think all those guys could end up being a top 12 quarterback. Obviously not the top 5 like Josh Allen, but I feel like they can make up their points and get close to that value that you're giving up at that position. If Marion Hampton somehow falls to me, I'd pick him up. Yeah, I'm not opposed to getting my third running back at all for sure. See what happens. I feel like Amari and Hampton's going to go top 45 once pre-draft ends. Once we see the draft capital, I think he's going to go first round. Same with Travion Henderson. I feel like both of them are going to shoot up the board. Caleb Johnson, I think he's going to be a second round pick, but I could be wrong. But those guys can really shoot up the board, especially once we see landing spot. I could see them being a top 45 picks easily in September. Once people get the hype about them. That's what I'm going to try to do. Forecast where I think people are going to be going. Obviously, it's a little bit hard to do now, but I already saw the fruits of my labor for Devonta Adams. I was picking him when he was 60, 65. Now he's going. I see sometimes 45 in this draft. Obviously, I picked him up here, but I've seen him go as low as 42. Kenneth Walker's an interesting one. I feel like he was going around here last year. And he didn't really have a good year, but I think they'll build around the offensive line this year, and I think he might be more valuable this year. He had his moments last year for sure, some good games, but he's off the board. He went about the same spot last year. You don't really see that a lot from running backs either. They go drastically up or drastically back. Don't really stay up too much. Stay in the middle. It's good for him. David Montgomery would be interesting. I'm going to go Travion Henderson here, though. I think just the value there that he presents, going more of a fragile running back, but going really heavy on the position. And then we'll. I thought he went him, but nope. Henderson's still there. Going him. I think the wide receivers in this area pretty similar. Like I'm fine with Jaden Reed, Ridley. I think even Juwan Jennings could be better value, honestly. I still don't know if it's going to be Pearsall on him, but 113 targets last year. Ayuk's probably going to miss most of the season. I like what I see, but then you got Pearsall who came on at the end of the year. First round pick got shot. There's just so many variables. Like, does he slot in? Is Debo on the team next year? I expect him to be. Honestly, I think that's been a little bit overblown, but still. Jaden Reed. Yeah, I'm going Jaden Reed here, though, if I can. Honestly, I think Ayuk's going to keep dropping. I can't believe he's still at 75. Like, do people forget that he tore his ACL? I just don't get it, honestly. I'm also fine going Juwan Jennings, depending on what happens here. That was rough. Jaden Reed was my guy last year, and also I have already Aaron or Josh Jacobs, so I'm gonna go Juwan Jennings here. I'm liking the build, obviously. I got 4 pretty solid wide receivers, 3 really solid running backs. I'm liking how things are shaping out. I just feel like I have that high upside mentality here. Any of those wide receivers could score 20 points in any given week, I think, throughout the season. Ted McMillan, obviously, we have to see it and see the landing spot, but I expect him to be in that upper echelon of rookie wide receivers, probably drafted in the top 10. So he's going to hopefully have a spike week here or there, 20 points. If he's worth his salt. Cody Pollard is an interesting one. If he's still available, probably not. Mark Andrews, I've been drafting him a lot. I just can't believe he's going as far back as he is. If he drops to 80, 83 or 84 for me, I'm definitely picking him up. Favorite rookie? I feel like my favorite rookie this year is Devin Neal. I just like his tape a lot. I think he's a little bit underrated, kind of flying under the radar. The Senior Bowl, he definitely shot up boards. He was going like 150, 160. He was free there. Now I've seen him go as high as 120. I'm kind of pumping the brakes a little bit. And I really like James, what's his name? James Daniels? Or Jordan James, jeez. Jordan James, that's the rookie. I just feel like he has some high upside, and he's someone that I'm definitely targeting later in drafts. That is kind of like a poor man's Devin Neal, in my opinion, honestly. And there goes Mark Andrews. Tyler Warren's kind of fallen back in drafts. That's interesting. get things going. Matt Golden, I'm definitely looking at as well here. Jordan Love got picked up. 86. Wow, that's rich for me. That is rich. I have 2 rookies. Not excited to grab another one, really. Maybe Johnny. Johnny Smith. Get that Miami stack going. Let's go. Let's go. So it's 6 picks. Hopefully they kind of shuffle in. I don't really want to get more rookies. I want to go 2 rookie heavy. Probably going to go Travis Etienne, honestly. Possibly could go Bo Nix if he's available. Oh, he's gone. And he's gone. Did he have Sutton? No, he said the same thing. It's just good value, and I don't have a lot of Bo Nix. I feel like he's not going to do that incredibly well, but he had a good year, so got to give him props. Keep calm and Marshawn. So he already has 2 like quarterbacks. I mean, we're not even out of the top 100. He doesn't even have the stack for Baker. He's just like, I love Baker Mayfield. I don't get it. Let's look at the board here. Most people have a quarterback at this point. I'm completely fine without it. Matt Golden, if he's still available, I kind of want to go get him. Yeah, I'm going to go get him. I feel like he's like a poor man's BTJ, which is like a poor man's Chase. So it's like a destitute Jamar Chase, Matthew Golden. I just think he's built differently. He's going to run an interesting 40-yard dash, I think, too. He's a big guy. Understands leverage. Senior Bowl, he looked pretty good, too. But I think there's a bigger gap between Golden and Matthew for sure than there is between BTJ and Jamar Chase. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide receivers. My 3 running backs are great. We're really punting. Jordan Love's still there. I thought he was gone. I thought he went like way early for some reason. I'm hoping to get him then. Well, I don't really have a Green Bay stack now because it's really Josh Jacobs. He's not really a pass catching back. There's not a lot of Green Bay. I could go Wicks and Dobbs later in drafts too, but I just don't think they're going to return much value. I'm fine kind of punting the position a little bit. See what happens. Some late stacks. I might go Prescott and try to go Fergie and Tolbert. We'll see. Let's look at the board here. CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers. That's a good start from this guy. Kittle, James Conner. Brandon Ayuk, I can't believe he's up this far in drafts. Pittman at 108, interesting. And Diggs, like again, ACL, and he wasn't really explosive. Free agent, like I feel like you're drafting like OBJ last year. I just don't think there's that much juice left in the tank. Brian Robinson Jr., Najee Harris. This guy's going all running backs here. Khalil Shakir and Stephon Diggs. He doesn't have Josh Allen. Josh Allen's over there. Interesting. Swift's next available ADP. I feel like he's really going to take a step back once draft season's over. I expect the Bears. They have three top 45, 50 picks. They're definitely going to go running back. It's a prime position for them. Ben Johnson wants their guy. Swift is going to be kicked out of there, even with the money that he has there. I think it's going to be Roschon Johnson. Really is the more of the goal line kind of guy, the pass catcher, good pass blocking, can actually like just get you the yards you need. And then the running back that they draft, obviously, is probably going to be the Sonic, in their Sonic and Knuckles kind of formation there. Here's my team so far. I really went heavier running back early. Got some wide receivers a little bit late. Johnny Smith. I know Matt's going to love that. I think he might be in the chat here. Lurking. I definitely have to go old man Keenan Allen. Old man Keenan Allen here. Then I'm going to try to go either Drake May or Prescott. I think Drake May has some pretty high upside with his rushing ability, so I'm going to try to sneak Drake May here. But the consolation prize is Prescott for sure. That means Allen's my boy. How's it going, man? Yeah, Allen, I don't know why I've drafted so much Keenan Allen, but I've been drafting a lot of Keenan Allen. He's my top exposured wide receiver. How's it going, man? I figured when I saw your like on Twitter that and then I saw my viewer went up by a couple, so I was figuring someone from Twitter came over. Probably you were over here. We'll catch another one here if you're drafted, man. Yeah, I'm down to I think I got 100 big boards left and like 20 little, so drafted about 80 so far. Really slowed down though. I like how this build is going too, with kind of forcing Tyreek Hill. If he's good and Devonta Adams is as good as I expect, it's really going to be a hit with having those high-end running back talent as well. Travis Hunter keeps ticking up in ADP, man. Have you been drafting a lot of Travis Hunter? Or are you fading him right now? Drake May. Is he going to last to me? I know you don't like Drake May, that's for sure. You'll have to tell me why you think New England offense is going to be so bad. I'm expecting some big things from Drake May this year. I'm hoping that if I go Drake May that they get Tet McMillan. They might go Travis Hunter and play him at wide receiver. But at this point in the process, going Drake May is not bad. Good rushing upside. This guy has 7 wide receivers already. Holy moly. It's not a bad strategy. He has his Kittle. He has his James Conner. He has Lamar Jackson. And then he has CD, A.J. Brown, Zay Flowers, the stack with Bateman, Cooper Kupp. He's going to get traded. He thinks he has some juice left in the tank. Darnell Mooney. I mean, that's a pretty solid crew there. He goes Dak Prescott to follow it up. Yeah, I don't hate the build for sure. I think James Conner is super underrated. So, I mean, getting him as your RB1, I feel like he's going to get similar value to, let's say, a Kyron Williams possibly. You might be talking like 20, 30 points different. But Trevion Henderson, I mean, Conner might outscore him by 20 points easily too. I'm kind of making a little bit of a gamble there, but Conner is my highest rated or ranked running back, so I have a lot of shares of him. What's happening in the chat, guys? If you've stopped by, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. But put in the comments section. I want to hear from you guys and see what you guys think of some player takes this year. I want to just talk ball, too. Appreciate everyone stopping by, hanging out. This is only the second stream, so I have a lot of followers on TikTok, but I decided TikTok just isn't deep enough for what I want to go with, like community wise. I feel like they don't like to promote Underdog kind of stuff, so I went to the YouTube because I feel like it's just a little bit easier. So if you guys like this kind of content, definitely hit the subscribe button. I'll be putting out more content. I'm working on doing some research on basically like every team's contracts that they have up in the air, what kind of cap space they have available for free agency, and what kind of draft capital they have. See what teams are more likely to get a running back shake up this year. I'll be putting that out on Twitter, and I'll be obviously using YouTube as well. So trying to get some more content out there because I mean I love fantasy football. I love doing these drafts, but nice to build some community and build something else outside of TikTok as well, just in case they ban TikTok here. 7 subscribers, appreciate you guys. So I kind of want to get Tua as my other quarterback. Yeah, Tua, and then I might just go get Anthony Richardson too. These few clicks. See what happens. Get our third quarterback up and running. Because I don't really have any other stacks, and he's a good unstacked quarterback to get. A lot of top 12 finishes, as Matt would say, if he's still in the stream. Tua's gone. Tell me he ain't so. And tell me he didn't have no Waddle. Okay, he had Waddle. But, I mean, like, Penix is on the board, bro. Like, go Penix. Go Penix, man. Here, I'm just going to go Anthony Richardson. So I'm going to go Bryce Young and hope Anthony Richardson comes back. What's the worst that could happen? Anthony Richardson has such high ceiling, obviously. But the floor, though, is you get 5-6 games in and they say, yeah, we're going to cut the cord here. That's what I'm kind of worried about with Anthony Richardson. So I'm going to go Bryce Young, who I think is going to be a top 12 quarterback this year, going at quarterback 21 prices. He just looked really good at the end of the year, and I think they're going to keep building around him. He's going to keep developing. Dave Canales is a quarterback whisperer, so I expect him to be more and more fantasy points. And he put up a lot of fantasy points rushing touchdowns-wise at the end of the year, too. So really sneaky legs for a guy that's really small. Think Kyler Murray, basically. Who all's in the chat, guys? If you're in the chat, put out a comment on who your favorite team is for NFL and who you're excited for fantasy football-wise in 2025. And how many big boards, little boards, how many drafts have you done so far in the pre-draft season? Do you like just hanging out doing drafts? We'll be doing lots of drafts together if so. Richardson could come back to me. Could happen. If not, my backup plan's probably going Trey Benson, hope for the upside. Boom. So 3-3, 6-1 to start this draft. Interesting build so far. I'm only going to get probably 2 to 3 more running backs. So go 6, 3, 2, 9. Get 3 more wide receivers. Start stacking some guys. Maybe go Jatavian Sanders here. Hunter Henry there. Get some stacks going. I hope they just hit when they need to. That's a crazy thing. Like, you could be like pretty unlucky where your top 3 wide receivers like Tyreek Hill, Devonta Adams, and Tet, they all go well one week, and then the next week no one gets any points, and you don't quite match up. But or you know, Juwan Jennings and Matt Golden also go off in the same week, but then the next week everyone does. It's just hard to make everyone kind of go off in different weeks. But it's the game we play, right? It's 165. I'd be nice if Mari Cooper was just chilling there on the board. I feel like he could go somewhere. He could stay a Buffalo Bill, but I expect him to rebound. He had a really bad year this year. The Browns traded him. He never really got started for Josh Allen, but I mean, he's been a perennial, 100 target kind of guy, and he's gone. So you can stop talking about him. Nice account balance. Did you do well in Best Ball Mania last year? Yeah. I was, what was it, like 190th in Best Ball Mania, so just kind of rolling the dough into the next one. I also have a playoff team in the Mitten 3, I think, and also, is it the Mitten 2? Oh, the Little Mitten, like 2 or 3, one of the Little Mittens. Got them in the finals, so I should get some more account balance up there, my dude. But, yeah, I forgot that was even on there. That's fine. But, yeah, I'll have some more account balance. Hopefully, after the Super Bowl, I'll be rooting for Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce, Hunt, Saquon Barkley, and Patrick Mahomes. If he gets behind and has to throw it a bunch, and Saquon Barkley takes over for the Eagles, I will be much richer. I think $50K to first place. So cross our fingers. And there's like only 150 live teams. There's like 370 in the tournament, but only 150 can actually win it, and can roster a full roster. So I'm really pumped to see where that goes, man. But yeah, Paul, appreciate you stopping by, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you like content from Underdog. I started off on TikTok, but I felt like there was like not enough like depth there for Underdog. Everyone wants just like a quick player take and then go. I want to build a community talking about fantasy football. So if you're into that, definitely hit that subscribe button, my dude. Cole Kmet, I would like that a lot if he's still available. So I got a little mini stack there as well. I like that. Mini stack for Chicago. I really don't have any stacks going. This is kind of a dud of a draft, honestly, in that regards. But I got sniped where I could have gotten some stacks, but we'll get some stacks at the end of the year. Paul, do you play Best Ball Mania as well? And did you come from Twitter, or did you bounce on YouTube? Could also go someone up in 5 picks. I really want Adam Thielen. Old man Thielen, come on down. Get on my team. Oh, I should have went Hunter Henry. What am I doing? Instead of Cole Kmet. I'll have to go to Mario Douglas or something. Because Thielen's definitely gone if I don't take him. And I feel like they're going to be scoring the bulk of my tight end points. We'll probably go high upside tight end for if I go another tight end. I might just go more running back, wide receiver combos. But running backs, I feel pretty safe with these running backs. Chopper Dave. Yeah, he's kind of doing the same kind of build. Went heavy a running back and then kind of sprinkled him in. Yeah, let's go Adam Thielen. Come on down. We can get really lucky and hope that Hunter Henry comes back around. Congrats. I finished in the 400, so broke even, a.k.a. my 2025 bankroll. Nice, dude. Yeah, just keep rolling into the next year. That's the way to go. Nice. Yeah, I went back to my draft and I was like, oh, like I drafted Waddle on this Best Ball Mania final team. I'm like, who could I picked around there? Like, oh, like I saw my draft. I could have picked Malik Neighbors. If I would have picked Malik Neighbors, I'd be talking 150K in my account balance. But you second guess yourself and all those. But I was really high last year on Jane Daniels, Jared Goff, because he had a lot of games where he was in the dome. So was really high on him. And it was cool to see in Best Ball Mania. I had a team with Jane Daniels, Jared Goff, the Stack McLaurin, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Had Laporta, had Ertz. It was beautiful. Love when those things come together. Player takes really come together. I was like 20% in Jaden Daniels easily, and probably 20% into Goff. And in the playoffs, he was like Josh Allen. He was better than Josh Allen in the playoffs, honestly, in the fantasy football playoffs, rather. But And it just goes to show you sometimes just having, those pocket passers, they can still get 5 touchdowns, man. Like if the offense is high powered and the defense needs some work, like AKA Drake May this year, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson. I mean that defense was horrible last year. All these guys can have high upside on any given week, so hoping those quarterbacks can hold me through. I was able then to invest heavily in good wide receivers and good running backs, and then pretty solid tight ends. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm probably going to go 2 tight ends here to try to be more fragile running back build. And then go for like some high upside guys here. I really want to get some more Jordan Mason shares. I feel like he could definitely sign somewhere else or even still be a handcuff to CMC is really valuable in drafts, especially with his injury history, obviously. Demario Douglas, he obviously played with Drake May for half the year, didn't really do much. He always has a lot of targets, though. I'm going to maybe double check to see if he's there and go him if available. Could also go Adonai Mitchell, but I feel like that's like wasting your pick. And then just really go some of those running backs that I like late in drafts, like around 19 and 20. Just kind of throw some high value dart throws that I think could hit, and this build will all come down to that. So gotta love Dynasty, or not Dynasty, Best Ball. I play a lot of Dynasty though. Okay, did someone take my guy? Oh yeah, I guess someone did take him. Well, I was talking. Oh no, I just never selected them. So let's go. So stack. So far, I've gotten Demario Douglas, got Adam Thielen, and then got some skinny stacks as well. I feel like my correlation pieces aren't bad. It's not like something that I'm gonna put on a frame on this team or anything like that, but it definitely has some legs here. So it has some outs in a tournament style. Plus any given Sunday too. And these next picks are going to be huge. See if I can get my guys that I want high value. Could go Nick Chubb. A little bit risky, but could see him bouncing back in 2025. He didn't show much, though. Once, as the season went on, I was hoping he would get a little better. But he might have rushed back a little bit too soon. Yeah, finishing even getting in the top, getting into the finals of BestBall Mania, that's a huge accomplishment. It's was it the top 0.08% of entries get in? So getting in that last tier, man, is all that really matters, and allows you to roll into the next season, or add some and do some pre-draft with me, dude. They may go DJ Gibbons. Could go Javonte. Oh, I missed out on Jordan Mason. Something like that. One of those 3. Probably the higher upside would be Giddens. And I already have a lot of Javonte in ownership. I have a good amount of Nick Chubb in ownership. So I'm probably going to go Giddens and then Nick Chubb. See what happens here. I hate when it's we're in round 17, dude. Just hit the button. Okay. So 15 picks away. Could go Malik Washington if he's still available too. Get that ninth wide receiver. So that'd be round 18 and then 19, 20. We get 6 running backs. Could also go tight end. See how the board falls. Anyone doing anything oh my gosh. That's me. 3 in a row. You had 2. He has 3 total. No one went crazy build 4 quarterbacks. Jackson's dart. That's his second quarterback. I was like, holy crap, dude. Yeah, second quarterback that late's pretty good. I've been luckily sprinkling in some Jackson dart. I feel like I've seen more and more of that. How important do you think correlations are? Week 17 game stacking multiple pieces from the same team. I think The game stack theory doesn't hold as much truth to it, honestly. But when you get week 17, like think about this year, like so many teams, like we had the Bears against, the what was it, Bears against the Seahawks. Total of points was 9 points. Horrible. I don't know why it was that bad. Primetime game, horrible. One of the Saturday games, it was like the same thing. It was like a horrible game. Some of the Christmas games, it was like, was that the Christmas week? Oh yeah, Najee Harris, horrible week. Houston put up like 3 points. So it didn't help some of those other correlated pieces. So I think there is some about game stack theory that's huge, but I don't really try. Like obviously right now I don't know the schedule. I can kind of guess who's going to be the schedule because sometimes they'll do divisional games there. But I think the game stacking is less important. I think team stacking matters a lot more. But a game stack is really important as well. There's a lot of good articles out there. Establish the Run has a BestBall manifesto. I'm sure you've heard of it or read through it. Like statistically, if you stack multiple pieces with a quarterback, you're more likely to advance, and then you're also more likely to advance inside the playoffs. So I think that's huge. Could go Kayshon Boutte. That's not a bad pick at all. But I'm going to go Tavian Sanders. Go 3 tight end build. He showed a lot of promise until he hurt his neck. I think that was like week 13. He kind of came back after that, but he wasn't the same. But he finished with, I think, like 50 yards the last week. I could see him taking a good second-year drive or, step up. Besides quarterback stacking, a passing quarterback with a wide receiver that has both a weekly and a season-long high projection. After seeing how Week 17 played out this past year, I'm not convinced they are anywhere near as important as most content creators proclaim them to be. I think Week 17 kind of proved that they are pretty important because just like if you didn't have, like, it's hard because, like, you're not going to have a lot of teams in the finals, but if you have a game stack in Week 17, it's huge. And kind of like the math on the manifesto kind of proves itself out. Especially quarterback with wide receivers stack, but it's hard. Any given week though, like I said, like you could have Drake May rush in 2 touchdowns, and he doesn't throw 1 touchdown to someone else, or maybe he throws 1 touchdown to Ted McMillan and he gets like 10 points. He's not going to even score for you, but Drake May gets 25 points because he runs for 75 yards too for 2 touchdowns. It doesn't really matter that much. Like. Even Jared Goff can get a rushing touchdown every so often. It's those kind of things happen. It's all random chance, but it's got to increase it. No individual Raven had more than 2 receptions in that game. Yeah, exactly. They were miserable. Bills balled out. Jets couldn't respond. The Eagles balled out. Dallas couldn't respond. Yeah, so it was like important to find who that stack was that can propel you in the playoffs, like the Denver Broncos and the the Bengals. Jeez. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Kayshon Boutte here. But yeah, I agree. Like sometimes I feel like you force it a little bit too much, but like right now, Kayshon Boutte, is it that much better EV there to get him? And now I have like two of the pass catchers. I could have 3 pass catchers on Drake May. We got Tavian Sanders, have some mini stacks. You're right. It maybe like is forcing a little bit too much, but Kayshon Boutte showed a little bit last year that I'm willing to take a little bit of a shot there. And I'm going to follow it up with my last picks will be either Tootin or Jordan James, get some more exposure there, or Cam Akers, I think has some upside. I'll go in that order here. But yeah, week 17 was like the worst this year, and it's like so many times they get down to it. There's teams that are out of the race that are just slogging around, and a team that's just trying to win. It's kind of hard. So if you banked on CeeDee Lamb the whole year and Dak Prescott goes out, and then obviously CeeDee Lamb doesn't even play, I had a DK Millie lineup where I had James Conner, Chuba Hubbard, and like basically no other running backs on that team, but they carried me throughout the playoffs. And then obviously neither of them played week 17. I still got like middle of the road, but I was really disappointed that I couldn't see how that team was gonna go with those two guys running. But I think it's definitely a lot of player take is more important. My Keishon Butte ownership's probably like 4%. So sprinkling in some guys, he could definitely take a step forward. Damari Douglas, he's just going to be kind of a safe floor guy. I hope that every week he gets like 7 to 10 points, so that if there's a week where all my wide receivers struggle, he's just putting up some solid points. My running backs obviously are going to be a little bit weak. They're fragile. I'm going to get my 5th running back here, and hopefully I'll have 3 to 4 useful running backs once midseason comes along. But with getting these rookies this late, this is definitely a fragile build. Then I'm hoping that Bijan and Josh Jacobs basically repeat what they did last year, and they carry me through the finals. But like any entry, it's a long shot. Yeah, what is it like in this tournament? It's like divide by 3, divide by 10, divide by 10. So you have like a 1 in 300 chance this entry makes it through. I'd probably say it has a shot. I'd say it has 1 in 300 chance. Thanks for responding. My personal take is most content creators will say correlations are tiebreakers, but then they use them as an excuse to draft 2 bad players together. Yeah, I see that a lot where like there's like a guy ranked at like one, like let's say Ayuk. You want to get like a 49er stack and you really start going. I mean, Ayuk could be good end of season, but I just feel like he's not a good pick because his advance rate's not going to be very good this year. And going 75 is too rich for me. But yeah, I feel like last year there was a lot of people just kind of like, oh, look, like I have the Chicago stack and like I made it work. Like, but I'm like, you have a rookie quarterback with 3 pass catchers that are going in the top 70. Like, what could go wrong? Like, and it did go wrong. It went horribly wrong for the Chicago stacks. I had a few of them, but like, you had to play along because that might be the ticket. This year, I'm really really excited for a lot of the quarterbacks that go later, like Drake May. Oh, I picked the wrong guy. I was going to go Jordan James there. Oh, wow. That's what we call a blunder, but I really like Drake May, Bryce Young. Anthony Richardson I don't have a lot of ownership of, but I could see him being a breaker, obviously. Let's get the next one rolling. Paul, did you see my stuff on Twitter, or did you stop over on YouTube, or some combination thereof? But either way, definitely hit that subscribe button. We'll be doing lots of drafts. So I'm in one right now, so you could jump in if you wanted to. No one can stop you. There's 7 people waiting for this draft, so 6 people waiting. But yeah, this year I'm doing a lot of zero RB builds where I'm just like tackling that wide receiver position, getting like 5 or 6 wide receivers, then kind of going the running backs, especially with James Conner going where he's going. Caleb Johnson, Travion Henderson, I love where he's going. Kamara seems like it's almost free. Tony Pollard, those kind of guys I feel like are really good values where they're going, and you can really get those guys that are going to get you 20, 25 points in any given Sunday, which is what you need in the tournament style. It is nice to get like 25 points from your running back, though. Yeah, I feel like Bijan is a good spot, too. Let's see what draft position I get. I kind of want to get like 6 and get like Justin Jefferson. I haven't really gotten a lot of Justin Jefferson because I feel like Gibbs is a really good pick. Bijan's a really good pick. Saquon's a really good pick. So I usually don't pick him above those guys, but maybe I need to start. We can go to my results here. Or I'll go to my drafts. Completed. So quarterbacks, Penix, McCarthy, Sanders. And I was picking him when he was like 190. So like it's like free money. Now that he's like going 160s, it's nice. Drake May is actually lower than I thought. Jeez. For example, miss out on their quarterback targets, so they Backstack Will Levis and oh yeah, that yeah, that's not good. Congrats. You get comfy feeling for correlating, but you just use correlation as an excuse to draft 2 zeros. Yeah, exactly. I was actually higher on Tyler Boyd last year just because like he had always kind of done it, but obviously that was a bad take. But I felt like he was like a safe round 18 kind of pick, but obviously that didn't pan out. But I had like zero Levis. Josh Allen, I'm kind of fading him hard. Lamar Jackson, say that I haven't really done a lot of elite quarterback builds, so I just feel like they get pushed up a little bit too much for my liking. Oh, looks like the draft is starting. Go running backs quick. See my top guys. Wide receivers. I love Adams for sure. McLaurin, like he was going like the end of the third round. I was like, he's a smash there. Ertz for the win. Higbee, Sanat. I have a lot of teams where I go Ertz and Sanat just because I think one of them is going to do really well. Or, they could have half a season where one does well and the other one doesn't. Oh, this is the one. It's like I got 10 hours on that one. Oh, I'm 12. I like a good end or beginning. We'll see. Yeah, sometimes people definitely force that end stack, so they're just like, oh, I got no correlated pieces, and then to your point, it's like, oh, I have the 12th pick, so I can just grab Will Levis and I can grab Tyler Boyd. It's like, okay, that's a little silly. I would much rather have an internal stack, so let's say that you have CeeDee Lamb, but you don't have Prescott, and you're like, oh, that sucks. Later in drafts, you get Ferguson, and you also get Tolbert. I like a mini stack more than I like a bad quarterback stack, for sure. Jefferson went 5. I want to be the 5th pick and just get Jefferson one time. CeeDee Lamb. I've been drafting a lot of CeeDee Lamb. But I have not been the 6th pick. I've been really 12 or 1. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I have so much Jamar Chase, too. It's crazy. Hopefully he has a good year. I found you just by searching under the live tab on YouTube, always checking it out. When I have to draft on desktop, I'm the 10 spot in your current draft. Oh, nice, dude. Nice. Got the black badge. I don't even know what they mean. Highly experienced. What's that? You know what the threshold is between black and red? Who's he going here? I've been drafting Amon-Ra St. Brown at 10. I've been kind of fading, honestly, Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, I feel like Malik should be higher than him, but I'm really happy with that because I got him. Now, who I want to... Should I go 0 RB? Should I go Ashton Genty? Should I go Derrick Henry? CMC, this build. I'm actually going to go 0 RB here. That's hard, though, because they could definitely put up 300 points again. Just be a solid spot. I'm just high on him and Penix really connecting. I'm going to go Drake London here. Go quarterback. Maybe mid-rounds. We'll see. Hey, you got Genty. Nice, dude. I've been doing a lot of Genty, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't know how it happens or why it happens, but it happens, I guess. Oh, so the live tab on YouTube, though. That's cool. This is show people that they think that you'd be interested in because you watch other creators on UD. It's kind of cool. It's good there's some discoverability. Yeah, this is my second stream I ever done, but I did most of my stuff on TikTok, and I just felt like there was not a deep enough talking about this kind of content on TikTok, and when I tried to, no one really cared, So you just have to find where your niche is at. And TikTok's more for the, can you hit 100,000 people, not your 100 people, But I'll be doing that too. But it's just taking a little bit of break from that because it is kind of more the off season. I'll be talking probably some player takes, NFL draft stuff when that starts kind of rolling away. Be fun. I need to make a video on Devin Neal before he gets like too crazy. I guess I can look at this one real quick. It's I'm gonna make it easy there and just go Jaden Reed and go back. So you went Genty and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then you'll have pick 34. We have hard picks, man, because like I do love the Tyreek Hill area and the McLaurin area, and you get obviously an elite guy as well up front. That's tough. McLaurin went 22. I remember when I was snagging him every 30-something pick, I was like, snag, snag, snag. Same with Hill, snagging him up. 2.9. Underdog draft. Me and this one guy on Twitter we're talking about where we thought Tyreek Hill was gonna end up being like right before like the big draft came out, and I was like, I'm definitely thinking he's gonna go top 2 rounds, and he was like, I think more like like right around the 3 turn, but it's looking like he might end up being like a mid-second. We got black badge equals played in 50 contests or have won more than 2,500. Across 5 contests, red badge equals 1,000 contests or 3 separate 1,000 wins. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So I've had 3 separate 1,000 wins, I guess, because I definitely haven't had 1,000 contests yet. It's only my second year. So who's he going to go? We got McBride, Cook, DJ Moore, Mike Evans on the board. Makes me want to, like, if I have the 12th pick one time, just go, like, Malik Neighbors and Tyreek Hill and just say, screw it. Like, just have a really interesting build. Go Jane Daniels, nice. Lock in that elite quarterback. I do like having James Cook on some teams here. I mean, the touchdown regression's probably going to happen, but could go DJ Moore, Mike Evans. May do it. Spam wide receivers here. I will not lose on wide receiver points with this build. That's for sure. Definitely going 0 RB. Now it's got to find those diamonds in the rough. Who do you think is going to be the quarterback for the Giants next year? Do you think it's going to be a free agent in Sam Darnold? Do you think they're going to get Shedeur Sanders? Do you think they're going to get Cam Ward? I feel like there's a lot of paths for them not to get Cam Ward, but Shedeur Sanders I feel like could be the guy. But I wonder if they try to go like bridge quarterback. I know some people are floating out like Sam Darnold or Jameson Winston. I have Evans queued. Dang it. Oh, man, that's rough. Zay Flowers. Nice. Zay Flowers, I liked him a lot coming out. Was that 2 years ago? 2 years ago? Yeah. 2 years ago. And I just feel like his separation skills are just elite. Primetime in New York just seems right. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of, like, when I get Malik Neighbors, trying to get Sanders. But sometimes I'll sprinkle in some other quarterbacks, like just trying to make an assumption what's going to happen there. Yeah, Jaden Daniels, Ashton Genty, 2 solid wide receivers, and you can fill in your other wide receivers. I mean, that's a solid build right there. Like, I'm kind of going a little risky here with the 4 wide receivers start, but I like doing it. I feel like there's some good running backs that I'm going to hit on later that are going to get me to the finals, hopefully. We'll see. I feel like it's hard to make up for a Derrick Henry, though. I just feel like this running back class is super good, too. And some of those, like, just vets in the game are fall back for sure. Ted McMillan, 45. Oh. Definitely pushing up wide receivers. Like Zay, and we'll sprinkle him in like I did here, but I'm not in love with the pass catchers on Baltimore or Philly with their offenses built around their running quarterbacks and running backs. Yeah, exactly. For sure. I wish they was somewhere else, honestly. Whereas Washington has no elite running back. Yeah. Yeah. They could go running back, but we'll see. I kind of think Brian Robinson just makes sense. Unless they go free agent or something. Go like Najee Harris. And again, not elite. As a Steeler fan. Roma Dunze, I'm really excited to see what he does this year. This is like the second year wide receiver breakout team right here. Saquon. Question is, who's going to be around at 60? Probably somewhere in this range, right? Nice. Who's your favorite team, Paul? I like the Steelers. Obviously, I got the Steelers picture back there, but I just feel like it's been a rough watch. If I didn't have fantasy football, I'd probably be a pretty rough spot. Nadia has been my pick for them. They had trouble punching it in the goal line. Yeah, I think he'd be like just a good solid back to have there. Austin Eckler's basically like Jalen Warren. Jeez. We got 5 picks, and you're up in 3 picks. A lot of interesting names here for sure out there. Let's see where we end up going. Chris Olave. He was someone I was considering, like still even with going my 5th wide receiver. Waddle's off the board. Yeah. Kamara, nice. I was thinking about taking him. I'm going to go. I feel like both these guys are underrated. I think Amari and Hampton's going to be first round pedigree, hopefully. Go to a good team. Maybe the Vikings. We'll see. And I think he's going to be rising up draft boards once pre-draft's over. Or even, I guess, combine. As more people see his tape, I could see him creeping up to the 40s. But love Connor. So I'll be at pick 70, or no, like 84. This range. It's a good spot to be in. So you went, and then yeah, Cortland Sutton was my other guy I was thinking about like tagging instead of James Conner. I grew up in New England last couple of years with Bledsoe, and then Brady era, a lot of great matchups with the Seals. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, usually losing on that end. That Jesse James was a catch. A catch before it was a catch, I guess. Reason why they changed it. I feel like this range of wide receivers is really like rough. I'm not a big Luther Burden guy yet. I think he has some juice, but then you got like Brandon Ayuk, Khalil Shakir, Emeka Ibuka. I feel like he might be better than Luther Burden, honestly. That's a hard one. I feel like Luther has some more pedigree though, but I still don't feel good about this area of wide receivers. Oh, gotta plug my phone in. Can't let that die. There we go. Hawkinson. Hawk that early, nice. I think he should be going around there, so it's good to see him get a little respect on his name. So right now you got 1, 2, 3. It's a good build. I mean, can't hate that for sure. Got some plans for my next pick, but nothing too crazy. See how the board falls. Can't believe Junkin's still on the board too. I guess it is right around his ADP basically. Yeah, so you're used to some good quarterback play. What do you think of Drake May then? I like him a lot, obviously, as you saw, or I guess heard. I guess I only have 10% of May. He's a little bit pricier than some of the other guys, but I probably should spend up on him. The rushing upside's there, and he's gonna get weapons. They're gonna spend on free agency linemen. Like he's gonna be legit. Legion X. Pollard, yeah, that's a guy that I've been really attacking because I feel like they're not going to invest in a running back in the draft. It's a really good pick there. Now I got to go to my board. I feel like if I want Baker Mayfield, I got to take him here. It's not a bad stacking partner. And then I like Josh Downs a lot. Target monster, he kind of is a little less durable. So I'll go Tampa Bay here. I kind of wanted to get McMillan, but kind of feeling Aaron Jones with this build. There's a little bit of risk there with free agency, but I expect them to be either re-signed there or go somewhere else. But there is a risk that Amari Hampton goes to Minnesota there. Be cool if Amarian went to the Cowboys. I'm later than I usually am at wide receiver. Have to stay on schedule at that position. Like a good 4-yard run on first down. Yeah. Yeah, definitely have to stay on schedule. It's hard. Yeah, Matthew Golden, I like a lot. I feel like he's like a poor man's BTJ who I thought was a poor man's Chase, so he's like a destitute Chase. Yeah, I like his film a lot, though. I like how this build's kind of coming together here. I can dig it. $108, $109. Scroll back a little bit. Kind of know who I'm already going to be picking in this range. Could shake it up a little bit. The Pats have great pieces at quarterback and corner, the two hard positions to fill, but not much else. Yeah, the line. You guys have like 98 million in cap space, so I'm hoping that they're really aggressive, like the Panthers were last year in free agency, and to say like, you're a pretty good guard. We're going to overpay you. You're a pretty good lineman. We're going to overpay you. Get on our team. And then just have a solid line heading into the year. Draft Tet McMillan. Just go ham, and it's going to be fun to watch. I think Pitt should keep Fields if they can. I'm not really a big fan of either of them. I think they both hold on to the ball too long, and they don't like to throw it over the middle too much. So I don't think they're good fits. Probably not going to win a Super Bowl with either of them, but features look. I would much rather be a fan of the Patriots and be excited about that rebuild than I know we're years away from a rebuild, honestly. But if Fields has a good offseason, figures out how to process, and takes a big step forward there, I can be wrong, and maybe we're contenders this year. Unlikely, but you never know. As they say, dreams are free. Got to be a little bit of a realist, but optimistic too. Is Najee definitely not re-signing? Do you think Jalen can handle RB1 workload? I think we'd sign someone in either free agency or get someone in the draft. Because I don't think Jalen Warren can keep the pound of a 3-down set. I think Harris, we might offer him something, but I guess his 5th-year option was $10 million. I saw somewhere they're expecting him to get $27 million over 3 years. I think he's worth it. I just think our offensive line's not very good, but I kind of hope that we re-sign him. I always like Najee. I was drafting Najee when when he was falling into the what was it, 13th, 14th round. It was crazy. Where's he going here? What will Paul do? Warren almost fell to you. You go Swift. Purdy, I'm going to go Caleb, and I'm going to go Caleb and then scroll down. Get my Keenan Allen. Got the double stack there. I'm really high on Keenan Allen, even though he might not be a Bear next year, but thoughts on Pittman's back? He scares me a little bit, but I feel like he'll be fine. He might need some surgery, I guess, in the offseason. I would hope by the time the season starts, he's good to go. It's a little worrisome, but he's probably a good value. I have a good amount of Pittman. But I've been Googling Pittman's injury, see if there's any updates, but it's a little scary. Keenan was my second choice. LOL. Nice. Yeah, I feel like it just pairs up with my stacks pretty well. This team's a lot better stacked. It's a lot easier to stack when you know what your next pick's going to be. You can't get sniped. I almost went Pittman, though, for sure. Nice. But I think I could see Keenan having a similar season if he stays in the Bears. But I think anywhere he goes, almost he'll have a better year than last year. And he might actually do better if he's not on the Bears with the target competition with DJ Moore and Romadunza. Just go to the Patriots this year. That'd be awesome. Patriots, and then do Tet McMillan, got Keenan Allen, get the line. You guys would be Super Bowl favorites then. Get some defenders. Just drop them on in. It's 132. You're doing a similar build where you're not grabbing a tight end until after the 10th round. I do a lot of those builds where it's I feel like a lot of those are overrated. You got Brock Bowers, you got Trey McBride, and then I don't really care as much. There's a lot of reigns there, and I feel like Mark Andrews is a really good value where he's going, so I've been picking him a lot. But The tight end landscape's definitely like harder, and you got like guys like Hunter Henry, you got Cole Kmet, you got Zach Ertz, you got um, Tyler Higbee. I feel like all could end up being a top 12 tight end, and they're going way later in drafts and respectable amount of points. So you don't have the difference maker. Like don't invest heavily. That's kind of my strategy for tight end. Load up on these running backs and wide receivers. It's like a 5 wide receivers. If you told me, one of your wide receivers scored 20 points this week, it could be any of one of these. Like, that's why I love it. Running backs, I feel like they'll all do well. Quarterbacks, I feel like Caleb Williams is going to take a step up, outscore Baker Mayfield. We'll see, though. I have a lot of Caleb, though. Let's look at the completed. Jeez, tired. Not 12%. It's not crazy. I feel like he has been going up like too high. Like people snag him. Is anyone doing something weird on the draft board? I guess this guy's no quarterback yet. It's not super weird, but it's how I usually roll. No one has 4 quarterbacks yet. It's good to see. Yeah, I know I can find tight end starters in round 20 and beyond. Yeah, exactly. I mix in Bowers, McBride, and Kittle group, but Kelsey, Andrews, Hawk, and even Laporta at times feels too rich. Yeah, I feel like Laporta at 60, it's like, if I don't already have Gibbs and like Jamison Williams, like, I feel like Laporta at 60 just seems like way too rich. Like, I guess he could finish as tight end 2 or something, but it's just kind of rough there where he's going. Yeah, Ben Johnson leaves, and then who knows what's going to happen. Man, I'm tired. This will be the last draft. I'm like falling asleep here. I feel like Tucker Kraft is a good pick, especially at like 129. He could definitely be a difference maker at the position. But he's probably not going to make it back to me. Kincaid was hard for me last year. I was excited to see Kincaid. I was all in on Kincaid having a breakout season, and then he falls flat on his face. I had so many Kincaid where I could have went McBride. Like, yeah, Conklin, yeah, you should have a lot of targets. Yeah, I could see Gesicki going to the Chiefs for sure. I'm excited for Juwan Johnson, too. Yeah, the tight ends is just like, there's so many of those guys that every year some guy that's way outside the top 12 ranking gets like top 5 out of nowhere. Like, just take 3 of them and hope you got the right one. Kraft is gone. Nice. Yeah, I feel like he's good value for sure at 130, man. Good snag. Yeah, well, I'm going to complete my quarterback build, I think, here. I like a good Penix. If Penix busts this year, I'll be heartbroken. Let go. Devin Neal is my sleeper running back for sure. I'm hoping that he gets the capital of like second round, but probably I need to be realistic and say he goes third round, but I think he's really good. So 157. So I got how many stacks I got? I got Tampa Bay, Chicago, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Chicago, Atlanta. So I got 4 of my guys stacked already. After saying all that, I grab what I think are 2 nicest tight end prices on the board, Kraft and Baltimore's tight end 1. Yeah, I could see likely being an interesting play. I still think Andrews has the juice there, but definitely could be wrong. It's nice to get something on the position though. And you only have one quarterback because you got Jane Daniels, and you don't need three quarterbacks. You need two quarterbacks, and you can get a super late quarterback. And Jane Daniels is probably going to outscore him every week except for his bye week. So I love Jane Daniels. I have so many dynasty shares of him too. I remember like watching like every snap of Jane Daniels' 2023 career and like just like loving everything I was saying. I'm like, I don't know how he's not the 101, like, but I'm taking him, and paid off a lot. Yeah, some interesting decisions depending on what falls to me. Golden to Washington, fingers crossed. Oh man, that'd be amazing. That's actually a really good take, man. Like he's like I heard he could go first round, and because he could go first round, that's more like a end of the first round. That's right where Washington picks. Like I feel like the physicality too that Golden does. Like he's really good at contested catches. He's really fast. He's built well. Like that's he's like a really good X wide receiver. Like him and McLaurin. Oh my god! Like you can't just like double team McLaurin. You got two guys that can do contested catches on the outside, who are vertical threats, who can also do some of the inside stuff too. Like, yeah, I like Golden a lot. That's a good call. Yeah, he reminds me a lot of BTJ, but a little bit, not as crazy athletically. Yeah, you'd be set up though there. You'd have your stack going. Yeah, in your case, I feel like the stacks are a little bit overrated too. It's like you have good pass catchers and you have Jaden Daniels. Like you don't need Jaden Daniels. You don't need multiple quarterbacks. Obviously, only one quarterback scores every week. Like obviously, Jaden Daniels can have a bad week, but in the playoffs this year, he was. You didn't need that. You could have just had Jaden Daniels on your team. Only one quarterback, you were golden. I think every week he was just stellar in the playoffs. He carried. Yeah, I felt like my best ball media ticket was pretty lucky, where it was just like the most common players that were in the field I had. So it's just like little, but like also I had the highest percentage of McLaurin, Amon Ra, Goff, and Jane Daniels. So it was like it made sense too. Oh, nice dude. Yeah, so you love Jane Daniels too. Yeah, week 17. It's like what if you would have had instead of Geno Smith, you went someone else because like you probably would have advanced with Jaden Daniels. Like even with the bye week getting zero, like wonder like what would have happened. I kind of wanted to go Kyle Pitts. This is an interesting one here. I think I'm gonna go that. I do like Rashad White even naked, so it's not bad. I haven't taken a lot of Kate Otten, but let's do it. I'm almost getting like too correlated now. Need some non-correlated pieces. Yeah, I got five pass catchers, three quarterbacks. That's pretty much where you want to be. Or at the max of what you want to be anymore. You're going too much. So this team has a lot of legs, especially if James Conner has any juice left in his legs, and Aaron Jones stays on the Vikings or at least gets a job somewhere. I mean, he had so many yards last year. He looked good doing it. I'm hoping that he gets a job somewhere. If I could swap him out for Pollard, I would do it in a heartbeat. That's all I gotta say, though. I think he has more juice and more livelihood there for sure. Got to start filling in some wide receivers. So you went Ollie Gordon. Yeah, I've invested in a lot of Ollie Gordon. I think Dylan Sampson's a really good bet too because I've heard he's going in the second round too. Probably more likely to go second round than James Neal or Devin Neal, but like then again the Senior Bowl hype. Like I feel like Neal's probably gonna go second round, but maybe there's just too many running backs that are gonna go second round that like they fall to the third round and it's all good. It's really hard, but I just feel like Neal is really an interesting player, and Sampson can definitely win with his speed. Lateral agility is a little bit interesting, but I feel like he's a better Jalen Wright, so definitely a good pick where he's going, even without knowing the landing spot. Speaking of Jalen Wright, I think he went off the board. Did he already go off the board? Or... Yeah, he went off the board 148. I would definitely have Sampson higher than him. Don't know what people are doing. Sanders falls. Feels weird not having like only two quarterbacks at this point in the draft. I haven't done any analysis on him, so I need to look at him. So I can't really speak too much to him. Are you high on him? I should like every time I see a name where I'm like I don't know him. I usually look at their highlights and then I at least do one like all 22 film on the guy, but I haven't done enough on him. Let's look at just like draft buzz. Expected third round. I mean, it's not bad for where he's going now, especially if he like goes up for his yards. 1,000 yards last year. I hate how they don't say like this year's stats. It's weird. Do you like Ayu Manor or however you pronounce it? I was like, I feel like I'm butchering this guy's name. I don't watch college, just the projected draft capital and a highlight reel or two. See what kind of archetype player. Oh, nice. Yeah. Dynasty Nerds, they have a film room where you can like look at like all 22. So you get like a full game. It takes like 5 minutes to watch like a wide receiver. So if it's a wide receiver, I like the highlights. I'll maybe watch one or two of their games. And if it's a guy that I'm like I really want to learn more about, I'll maybe watch all the games that are on there. Oh crap, who am I going? You go wide receiver at this point too. Wandali. Alec Pierce is interesting. Like he had a really high ups and downs. Go him and don't like his lack of separation, but I like his physicality. I do like. I'm a sucker for a guy that can just separate in and out of his breaks, but those archetype of players, the physicality, they can definitely be really high upside guys. One, two, three, four, five. Probably one more running back, one more wide receiver. That's 17, 18, maybe two more running backs. So 4 more picks. 2 wide receivers. I feel like having 5 in the top 109 picks, not bad. Do you like to watch a lot of different content creators? Do you watch Herzig from Establish the Run? I feel like I'm always in a draft with him. I feel like every few days I'll see him in my drafts. Who do you end up going here? So you went Io Manor and Geno Smith. You're trying to run it back, it looks like, from your Best Ball Mania lineup, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I like the build. It's all going to come down to how some of these players play. Obviously, got to play the game. I love Best Ball, but it is kind of wild that we won't see these pan out until end of December. So we got like 10 more months. 10.5 months. Aaron Rodgers that early. Okay. You see, he looked at the board and he said, I don't want any of these guys. I wanted Sanders to fall, but Geno only needs to be a weekly fill-in. I think his job is safe this year. Yeah, exactly. That's how I exactly feel about Jayden Daniels. Like, you don't need anyone else. He's going to be Superman next year, honestly. I feel like he has a touchdown regression upside impact. I mean, like, he could have had so many more. Like, I feel like Brian Robinson did have some goal line touchdowns that, like, you know, Jayden Daniels could get that rushing upside. Also, some of those passing touchdowns could go his way. So I think the offense can still get better. Tolbert's gone? Jeez. I haven't seen much on Williams either. Oh, geez, I'm up. Well, at this point, let's just get some hardy souls in here. Let's go Justice Hill. I'm going to reach a little bit and go. Yeah, I like where he's going right there. Give me a fast guy. Viton, Leon, Herzig at ETR aren't bad. My personal favorites are the multi-hour long thought discussions with BM4 and Korean do their at their legendary Sickos crossover show. I'll have to check those guys out. I haven't listened to those. But yeah, I love talking best ball, and I'll my Twitter is basically like a stream of consciousness of like just things I think about throughout the day on player takes and how I'm kind of thinking about best ball for pre-draft right now and how the landscape of ADPs is kind of shaping up. So that's kind of where I put my quick blurbs out, not hour long. I can't imagine talking for an hour long every day, but or I guess probably every week. But I love how the draft class kind of comes together and you start getting more and more information and diving into more and more players. Yeah, I have 3 rookies on my team. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Who you ended up going? See, you did a Slayton and Savion Williams. I'll have to look up Savion Williams where his draft capital is. TCU, I'm out. That's kidding. TCU, Quentin Johnson. Height, weight, 40, Pretty good. Third. That's another good spot to grab somebody. Yeah, no one's ever been burned by TCU. Yeah, Jalen Rager. That's what I was saying. Tez is gonna go 4.33. Jeez. Third round too. Nice. Yeah, Senior Bowl, man. I'm a big if they do well at the Senior Bowl. Obviously, not all the prospects go there if they're juniors or whatnot. But if they go to the Senior Bowl and they ball out, I'm drafting them pretty consistently. My buddy Matt's a big Senior Bowl guy, and the data speaks for itself. With the guys that ball out there, usually kind of translates to the NFL with the level of competition higher too, with all just seniors playing. Oh wow, Debo at 6'5" would be incredible. Debo was good in his prime. It's a rough archetype to play. I feel like my running backs are pretty solid, but I feel like so are my wide receivers. Upside guys are kind of thinning out. More of a raw talent guy, great athlete, but not a true wide receiver. Some of those guys are the best. Like BTJ, like a lot of people didn't know that he didn't really play wide receiver much in high school, if at all, if I remember correctly. So he was more of a basketball guy, and then obviously he got in the field. Those kind of guys, like they're so developmental, and like if they did really well with competition where like just started playing the position, they're gonna grow. They're gonna exponentially grow. So a lot of those guys, like you see something in the last year of college, and they have a lot more to show on the NFL field then. I like it. I'll have to check them out though. Yeah, I need to just go down the rankings and be like, I don't really know much about this guy, and then just do at least the highlight reel, at least watch a game or two on all 22 film, and just see what if I like the guy or just cross him off the list. Right now, I'm just crossing them off, basically not knowing him. Chigi Akankwo. This is the year of the Chig. Yeah, this I'm gonna go Jordan James. And then wide receiver. I'm gonna do the handcuff tight end strategy. That and Jordan James. He's a human highlight reel in college. Will probably test very well at the combine, but he can be an NFL wide receiver. That is the question. Or but can he? Yeah. Gotta get my glasses on for that. Cordell Patterson, like, oh, interesting. I feel like the TCU guys, like they get like all those like schemed up plays, and like they're like, oh, you can't catch like QJ, like what's gonna happen. But those kind of dart throws are always nice to have, like especially this late in the game. Like he might end up being a huge hit. So that's what we're going with round 19. We're not trying to go for safety. That's for sure. That's for the other rounds. Yeah, I like how the team shaped up. Some good stackability. I think the positions. I mean, Benson I could put up another 0 this year, but I think he also could take over Zach Ertz's job, or Zach Ertz could get hurt like Trey McBride did. So I like that pairing there. Kate Otten, I don't have a lot of Kate Otten, so YOLO. Like how it turned out. Trey Tucker, I like him a lot. He had a good 100 points last year too, and could continue to break out. But yeah, good drafting, man. And I'll be doing some more drafts as well. So if you want to get some drafts, big boards up, definitely hit me up. But I'm gonna get some rest. Gotta get some work in tomorrow morning. But Appreciate you stopping by and definitely hit that subscribe button, dude. Peace, dude.